There's a really interesting thing that happens when climbing a tree. When I'm way up in a tree, everything sounds different, everything feels different. It's just me and this organism that's very much alive and very much like another being. You feel every little creak and crack and every movement that the tree's making. And it's a special bond. And part of that is why I always try to make use of as much of the tree as possible. That relationship really spurred the interest and made it possible for us to start a sawmilling business.
Hawaii is this incredibly unique place. Geographically isolated, 3,000 miles from anywhere, hugely ecologically diverse. 9 of the world's 11 climate zones, vastly different ecosystems, dryland forest, desert, subtropical forest, tropical forests, plains, and you name it, it grows here or it can grow here. And that's one of the interesting things about Hawaii in general, from an urban forestry aspect, is that we've got all this stuff that grows here. So everything from Southeast Asian trees, Australasian trees, Tasmania, New Zealand, all of the mahoganies that you can think of grow here. It's just amazing. South American trees, Western European trees, Pacific West Coast trees. It's just a unique place. All my life I've been involved in some form or another with woodworking. My father was a finished carpenter, framing contractor, general contractor. My childhood was spent building houses with my dad. Start to finish, form work to finish work. And I got into woodworking when I was in high school, seriously. Started with jewelry boxes. By the time I got into college, I needed a source for really inexpensive furniture because I was a poor college student. It's a passion. I mean, to some degree, it defines me as a person, who I am. All my friends, most of the people in the community that know me or know about me know that that's what I do. I'm a woodworker. So even though Josh and I both grew up in the same town, there's a bit of an age gap between us. We missed each other in high school by about 2 years. I'd seen Josh around after school, after we'd both graduated and gone and done our school things, college things. I'd seen him as a fixture in the community for many years and knew of him as a talented arborist. We just didn't really cross paths until one day he was doing tree work for my neighbors, literally about 500 feet behind me here. And that was 10, 11, 12 years ago. And I needed some tree work done, so I stopped by to introduce myself to him, and there he was, 70, 80 feet off the ground in this big eucalyptus tree. And the rest is kind of history.
On a typical day, we usually like to start fresh with a new batch of logs. We'll start by breaking them down on the LT70, then stacking and stickering and dealing with customers coming in on a daily basis. Customers coming in and talking to me or to Alex or to any of our staff is a big part of what we do here, because we get a full range of customers, from do-it-yourself homeowners to full professionals. There's always a lot to share, whether it's the stories about the tree or guidance on how to use the wood that they've picked out, to just finding out the story of what they're doing and where it's going.
So we've got this great team. Our newest hire, Cody, just came back to us. He actually grew up here. He spent the last 8 years in California, getting a master's degree in forestry ecology. He's a talented and bright guy. We're gonna teach him how to run a sawmill like nobody's business. Gina runs our farmers market booths twice a week. She's also just an absolute master at furniture finishing. She'll sand and finish boards to an absolute perfection. I mean, just a shine. Great job on all of our furniture products and custom built stuff for our clients. Trevor's just an animal on a sawmill. He loves nothing more than just to cut wood, slab it, stack it, and do it again. And finally, Bridget, she's our operations manager, and she's just phenomenal. She's got everything dialed out at our facility. She's great with customers. Everybody loves her. One of the beautiful things about our business is we've managed to create livelihoods out of this underutilized resource. And at the same time, we've developed a family in a way, I mean, we just have a blast. It's fun. One thing that's kind of funny is in the early days of this business, we decided to run off a couple of shirts so we had something to wear. And we came up with these two slogans: respect your elders and know your roots. It's an homage to these trees. Most of what we're intaking on a daily basis, they're decades old. Sometimes they're centuries old. And day in and day out, every tree we cut, every log we saw, we're paying a respect to that tree, that elder. We haven't forgotten about our humble beginnings. An Alaskan mill in a backyard to this, it's just amazing. We started this business to take an underutilized resource that was being squandered, wasted, and turn it into something that could be used in the community. Something that was beautiful, structurally sound, make furniture out of it, make all kinds of stuff out of it. It's been 12 years. It's been crazy. Growth has been just astronomical. We're having a blast, and we're just never looking back. Forward progress.